It is great to see you again.
Again.
Tell me about the tree farm. Tell me what does it mean to be a tree surgeon? Give us an insight as to the things that you are working on and you are expert in.
Oh, first of all, I have so many notes from everything that I heard from you so far, from Rabbi Kahan and yourself. It's amazing. I wrote this many notes. I
Thank you.
love it so far.
Thank you.
You were talking about a person saying, I'm not holy, I'm not worth anything. But look at the trees and look at the laws that apply to the trees. If there's one little apple on a very sick apple tree that has a hollow, you can see right through the tree, it's ready to fall apart. If there's one little apple left, the whole tree has to be saved. You can't put up your $20 million development because of that one tree. That's how important the one little fruit is.
Wow.
The lesson is obvious. You have that good in yourself. You are worth way more. There's no room to say, I'm not worth anything, I'm not holy. Because that little apple, the little goodness in you, could stop the world.
Wow.
And is worth the world. So what I do all day, I have Tisha B'Av excuse me. Tu B'Shvat every day of that's my job. Every day is Tu B'Shvat for me. That's my benefit. What we do is we are handling the phases of arboriculture from the little seed to even before the seed, the preparation of the groundwork, all the way until it's a fully matured tree. I haven't been around 100 years to watch a tree from start to finish, or 1,000 years, but we handle all aspects of tree care.
How did you get into it? Like, what happened? You just were always into nature? Did you find it as something that you stumbled into? What was your path?
Thank you, Mom and Dad. They were both retired when I was young. My father had a little grape vineyard in the backyard. They were always gardening every day, and I picked it up from them.
Wow. And what are some of the projects and things that you've worked on that you can share with us? Tell us a little about your tree farm.
So the tree farm is where we move trees that are in the way of construction, usually. And these are, we are adapting scientific methods, cutting edge, to transplant sometimes very large trees, and we take them to a property owned by Jews. Yours truly. I bought the farm so that we can move it to a property that'll stay in Jewish hands forever.
So when you're dealing with certain trees, just so I understand this, when you're dealing with certain trees, the value at least in Jewish law is that you can't just knock down trees whenever you want to build. It doesn't work that way.
That's right.
So what's happening is you've got to show up, you've got to pull the tree out properly, and then you got to reestablish it in some place that it can keep its life. I mean, this is
correct.
That's incredible. Like I just want to make sure that we're all getting this. That's incredible. That God's like, don't kill my tree for that apartment building. So you've got to roll in and figure out how to dig it deep enough so that the roots, I guess, are able to get replanted, move it to another facility, and then give it life again.
Correct. What's more amazing is how far people are willing to go to do that. I'm just a small player here. But
Tell me
you
about
have
that.
people calling me that are willing to stall major multi-million-dollar projects because of a tiny little 1 foot tree that's in the way. I mean, I had a whole city block in the Bronx on hold. We're talking $100 million developments because of some twigs that were allegedly fruit. And I'm very proud that Jewish people are so careful and willing to put up everything to respect this part of Jewish law.
Wow. I think it's a part of Jewish law that is so understated. I mean, we've never really fully engaged in that at this level. Tell us a little bit about sort of the spiritual side of it, meaning the way you're interacting with nature always. For people that are sort of urban dwellers,
right?
We see it, but like it's not part of us. Give us a little bit of an insight. And maybe there are people, I'm sure, on this, we're blessed with such an incredible group of people that are part of the Shabbat show. Before we continue, I want everybody to know one thing, very important. Kahoot's coming on next. Super important, right? Now, as we're talking, start fiddling. Kahoot.it, get the app open, jump on Zoom, do what you got to do, because Kahoot's coming. I know you don't want to lose. Back to the back here. For somebody who is really connected to nature in a much deeper way than most, give us an insight as to how that works spiritually, and the relationship you have to that from more of a spiritual perspective.
Right. The lessons that I see from the trees every day. Number one, foundation is everything. After a major storm, which trees are falling over? The ones that have poor foundations. They've spent so much time on top growth and impressing the world, but when they have poor or rotting foundations, those are the first ones to come over. That's why the Gemara actually says, "La'olam yehei rach kekana v'lo kasha ke'erez." A person should always be yielding like a reed and not strong like a cedar. The reed can be knocked down and get back up. It's got strong roots, but a weaker top.
Right.
There are trees that are big on top, small root systems. They can fall down a lot easier.
Wow.
So
beautiful.
That's one lesson. I mean, I have a life of lessons to throw out. And interesting, you're talking about the hidden growth. Do you realize that the wind, the bending of trees actually causes them to grow? A tree that is staked up, you ever see a new tree planted and they're tied up so they can't fall over? You must take those off after 2 years, because the bending of the tree cells from the wind actually is what's causing them to grow. So it's that pressure, those forces against the tree is actually what's spurring its growth.
What amazing. We could do this. Lavi, thank you so much for being on. We could do this all night. It's so interesting. And we thank you for what you're doing. What an incredible thing that you're providing for people that are trying to respect nature as God intended to. And you're enabling that to happen. We thank you for what you do and for shining your light on this world.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for watching. For more content, like and subscribe, and be sure to tune in live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern at theshabbatshow.com or right here on YouTube.